Don't you just love when I make a video about Angry Joe and the fans fighting each other to then have Angry Joe basically make a video right after that say how he's sorry, even though he says that he was still trolling? Oh, Mike's Fox 9 Again, I'm at Fox, and again, I'm mostly writing the Kingdom Hearts stuff because, one, I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is actually being kind of popular right now where people are actually watching it, so I actually kind of wanted to talk about the series a little bit. Which, how basically this series is very different from a lot of other ones. The closest I could probably say, and I mean this game development-wise, because think of it like this. How many games do you know in a series where almost every installment, the mechanics change? Whether it be something along the lines of Kingdom Hearts 1, of course, which is standard kind of thing, and Kingdom Hearts 2, which kind of changes it more level design-wise, but in between that you have 358 over 2 days, which then has a card system added into it. And then Chain of Memories, I'm sorry. 358 over 2 days doesn't have the card system. That one has Tetris kind of system that connects things to it, as well as then other systems within the other games, such as like Birth by Sleep, where it has, instead of you basically leveling up and activating different skills, you actually just load in like a different loadout ability, and then when you want to use a spell or skill, you press triangle and let it go. Like, I just want to talk about that a little bit. This is not really anything that big, I guess, but it's just, I don't know, how I kind of, my thought process on the Kingdom Hearts series, because that's one thing that I really do love about Kingdom Hearts, is that if they have an idea for a game mechanic to put into the game, they usually put it in. And slowly this game evolves every installment. No matter what, even though like there are jokes where like say, oh, Sora loses all his magical spells and stuff like that in the beginning of every game. Ha! Yeah, he does. But on the flip note of that, he also kind of doesn't. Like, yes, he does relearn things like between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, Fire-Raga. But even then, in Kingdom Hearts 1, Fire-Raga acts way differently than Fire-Raga or Fiora when it activates in Kingdom Hearts 2, where in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's more of a projectile attack, while in Kingdom Hearts 2, it is more a fire shield, if anything, kind of, because the fireballs like zoom around you. Kingdom Hearts, again, like Kingdom Hearts is a series that like it never feels like it's repeating. Well, except for the parts when it does repeat, such as Chain of Memories, even a little bit more along the lines of Coded. Coded felt way too much like a repeat. But Kingdom Hearts is a series that never feels never repeats, and it continues to expand on its ideas and stuff like that. Difference from, let's say, a series of Call of Duty, or even like even Call of Duty, I can say Assassin's Creed, although now they are kind of learning from their old mistakes and like are kind of slowly evolving the series a bit more. But Kingdom Hearts, like, but even then, like, in other games, it's always a few tweaks, or in the case of, let's say, Sly Cooper 1, Sly Cooper Thieves Raccoonus 2, Sly 2, where you do add some new things, such as buying abilities in such a computer and stuff, as well as gaining new stuff and gaining new abilities. But even then, from Sly Cooper 1 to 2, he loses all of his abilities. If you collected all the Thieves Raccoonus pages, he loses all those abilities and you have to buy it back again. And even then, on top of that, how he fights is usually not all that different from how he fought in the first game, or expanding upon stuff like that. But in Kingdom Hearts, literally Sora not only changes fighting styles, kind of, like, he always still has his standard fighting pose, just like everyone does. But Sora, every time he does go into a new game, he has new abilities. To the point to where he even has a dry form that literally showcases all of his strongest old abilities. And then Kingdom Hearts 2, he of course has all his new abilities as his standard attack that you can slowly upgrade. Which, basically the point that I wanted to make was that a game series like Kingdom Hearts, it is kind of cool just from a development standpoint on some bits. Like again, and again, it's all still works in the series as even like story wise. Like in why is Sora able to run up walls, jump off of walls and slam down using his Keyblade smash attack and stuff like that? Why is he able to do that? Because in Dream Drop Distance, he learned that skill of flow motion from Neku. Why? Or it's along the lines of like, how did Sora, like, or along the lines of Sora being able to now have Keyblade transformation, stuff like that in Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, we've seen someone else do that, Terra do that back in Kingdom Hearts 2 as the Lamenting Will? I want to say it's Lamenting Will. I can't remember exactly what the name was. Something Will. I want to say it's Lamenting Will. Something around there. And so that we slowly see as the game develops, and even again, like old things such as that, or new things like what is it? Like the game series always evolves on its mechanics almost every time. Like Kingdom Hearts, like if anything, what the mechanics of the card system is now evolved in Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key with the medal system. Yeah, it's slightly simplistic. It's more streamlined, but it is based on a very similar mechanic. To then also to 358 over 2 days system of upgrading certain spells and stuff like that. I would say, I can't really remember exactly all of it, but you can say it's kind of a similar idea to Coded's kind of upgrade system, a tiny bit. Upgrading certain ones using certain little slot points to then upgrade the multiple slot points. If I'm remembering Coded's one correctly. The game itself, this game series evolves no matter what installment it is. It never feels like it's repeating, which I honestly can say again that is really good, which I guess like a lot of games, compared to the first game from the next game, it is supposed to upgrade. Like usually if a game series is good, they will always make the second game better than they'll make the second game better than the first game. Unlike something like movies, where like they usually say like the sequel's usually the weaker one, though in some cases that isn't the case. But in like again Sly Cooper, like first game freaking great, or even Assassin's Creed. First game's alright. First game I think the Arcanus is great. First Assassin's Creed game gets very repetitive. Second game expands on it completely in mechanics and everything. But think of it this way, like, even though Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, technically, I don't think they differed that much. I really do need to replay Kingdom Hearts 1. It's been years. I think last time I played that one was back in 2012. The last time I replayed that one, I even got, like, it for the PS2 again, so I played through there. But now they have the remastered one. I'm probably going to, hopefully I'll stream it at some point. But, the game changes, and again, like even like now in Kingdom Hearts 3, where because again, like any other game series, it goes 1, 2, and 3, which people kind of complained like, why did Tetsuya Nomura and then make Kingdom Hearts and like spread it between all these different games and have all these different quote unquote side stories or spin-offs, which none of them are spin-offs, they're all part of the same story that all lead up to the main thing. And at least from my point of view, it's almost like all these other games were in some cases kind of betas. Kind of. And I don't mean that like, oh, we got a cheap knockoff game or cheap game. Not really. A lot of the games are still really fun. And I really do love them. But think of it kind of similar to this. If Kingdom Hearts was like any other game, we would have gotten Kingdom Hearts 3 10 years ago, maybe. We probably got it 10 years ago. And it would not have anything that it does now because the Dream Drop Distance mechanic never existed. The style change abilities of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep would never have existed. Well, no, yeah, it would have been 2008, and I think Birth by Sleep came out in 2010. I want to say. That mechanics never existed. Stuff like that. Like, Kingdom Hearts, I'm fine. Like, even though, like, again, it has been a long wait for Kingdom Hearts 3, which even then, if you think about it, it really wasn't that it wasn't that really that long wait since we still had all these other games that we still could play, and basically gave us an entire library of Kingdom Hearts games that we could play to however long we want, and at our heart's content, I guess. But like it's just a cool idea to think of this. Do I say other games should probably do this idea? Probably not. Well, maybe. Games that should do this are long-running series like Assassin's Creed, I want to say, where you can start doing smaller stories, stuff like that, if only because then you have the different you can slowly build up new mechanics and stuff like that and create newer games and better games. Like even Kingdom Hearts, it's not a yearly series for one, so they have time to develop new games, but then also again they are able to just create new things. Again, Birth by Sleep is really a mix of, or Kingdom Hearts 3, at least so far as I've seen, is really kind of a mix of different mechanics from different games of Kingdom Hearts, where there be Birth by Sleep with the class change mechanics, to then the gimmicks of the different worlds from 3D, as well as Flow Motion becoming now Athletic Flow in Kingdom Hearts, from Kingdom Hearts 3D as well. Kingdom Hearts as a series and as a game title and everything is rather unique from even just the game development standpoint. Like, even like watching Angry Joe's like quote unquote apology video, like he said like, even though I don't really agree with it, he's like, oh, I get it, you guys haven't had a video game come out in the last 18 years, or no, 13, 14 years now, and then it got delayed and all this stuff, and you guys just need something to do. I'm just like, and that's why you're bothering me? I'm like, no, we've had games series for like a while. While it hasn't been Kingdom Hearts 3, no. But then again, we've always had stories that always are leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3, and eventually, we have the conclusion coming. Which, again, the idea of this is still cool, I think. Kingdom Hearts 3 is mixing a lot of different things together, whether it be the class transformations are now basically fused with Kingdom Hearts 2's drive forms, with the different Keyblades, and like Kingdom Key's ability is basically limit drive. Or a lot of the other Keyblades, like I think Pirates of the Caribbean, Toy Story's not. Pirates of the Caribbean, or maybe it is. No, Toy Story, Monsters Inc., and I want to say Hercules. No, Hercules is Master Form. The other two I just said, Valor Form, Hercules Master Form, Rapunzel and Frozen are Wisdom Form. I want to say, what was the one? I want to say Toy Story. Toy Story is also a Valor Form. It is also a Valor Form. It is a mix of those. It is a mix of those mechanics. And then you have, again, Athletic Flow, which is kind of a bit more refined, apparently, of Flow Motion, which I love, as well as having more vertical gate level design of kind of Kingdom Hearts 1, as well as more drop distance, where that was one of my favorite parts, was using Flow Motion to jump up buildings and like fly around and just like attack things using that ability and stuff. It was great. Mind you, I did use the mechanic to like jump along the walls when I was fighting Ventus because cat. But the game series, it is cool to see this. It is cool to see like this game series that is a long running game series that's almost like, I don't know how many years old. I think it started in 2002, 8, 7, 6. About 16 years old, 17 almost. That this game series is a game series that constantly is changing, constantly is not only improving its base mechanics, but then also adding new mechanics on top of that for almost each installment, until we now have Kingdom Hearts 3, which will be, a culmination of all those different things, which is like a culmination of everything, all those different games coming together with different mechanics. I doubt mechanics similar to Rock's 350 over 2 days, or like Coded, or even Chain of Memories is gonna make it into this game. In some cases, it does, because I think Chain of Memories was the first one we ever got Raid Blitz, the one where you throw the Keyblade like a boomerang. I believe that was the first one I ever had, as well as the block mechanic. I want to say Chain of Memories was the first one that did that. I don't remember having block in first Kingdom Hearts game. But then again, last time I played it was 2012, 2013, 2014, around there. As well as then the very first time I ever played Kingdom Hearts, I did not know how to read. When it first came out, way back in the early 2000s, I did not know how to read. So a lot of the game went over my head until I replayed it years later. But even then, I still got Kingdom Hearts 2, which then I could read by that time when that game came out. I even got the guidebook over there, the original guidebook, which is slowly falling apart. But yeah, this is just my quick thoughts on this. Like Kingdom Hearts is a unique game in and of itself. Not just because of some story-wise stuff like that, which I still love all that stuff. Even some people say, like, oh, this writing's kind of... I'm like, honestly, I really love it. But even just looking at this game from development standpoint, it honestly is a unique game in and of itself from that standpoint as well. Because, again, look at as many game series as you can. How many of them have as many game mechanic changes or additions that are that change up how you play a game more than Kingdom Hearts, than a Kingdom Hearts series is? That's all canon within the series. I should say that because unlike something like, let's say, maybe Legend of Zelda might come close, but unlike Legend of Zelda, where you have Hyrule Warriors, which is a complete change of mechanics, I believe, from the other games, that one isn't considered canon in the Legend of Zelda timeline and stuff like that. But, I don't know, but just tell me what you guys think. Just a little thought I want to throw out there, a little thing that, again, kind of shows why Kingdom Hearts is a very unique series in and of itself. Either way, tell me what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching, the videos that I've done. Links are on my face, screen around there somewhere. And we will. See you later.